Welcome everyone to lesson 3.2.2. Today we're doing how many solutions are there? So yesterday we were learning about how to solve an equation and what is a solution. Remember, from yesterday's lesson we learned that a solution is a number that makes both sides the same. Okay? So we're going to start class off today with guess my number. Here's a number. I want you to guess the number 1. Just start off with the guess the number 1. Do you know the number? Here we go. So triple your number. You're guessing 1. So what's 3 times 1? Okay, 3 times 1, and then add 4. Okay, 3 plus 4 is 7. And you should get the number 10. If you were to guess my number, what would it be? Can you guess the number? Is it 1? No. What about 2? Guess the number 2. Does that work? 2 does work because 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. Hooray! You got it right. So that's how we're going to play our number. So see if you can guess this correctly. Double my number, then add 4. And then what you should get is my number plus 7. So if you guessed 1 and then added 4, you would get on one side, on one side you would get 5, but then on the other side you would get 8. So 1 doesn't work. So guess my number. Can you figure out what it is? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 5? Is it 6? What is my number? What I want you to do is find that number. Pause the video to find that number. All right. You should have found that the answer is 3 because 3 times 2, that's being doubled, is 6. 6 plus 4, and then my number, which is 3, 3 plus 7, is the same. Okay, so this is guess my number, being able to guess a number. Okay, now let's go ahead and do problem number 3. Just so you know, you don't have to write anything down other than think right now, but I do want you to participate. Okay, so everybody pick a number. Pick a number. You picked a number? I'm picking the number 3. I always pick the number 3. You picked a number? Okay, good. Here we go. So double my number. So let's see. Okay, add 3. I got to write this down. So double my number 6. Add 3. Subtract my number. Subtract 1. Okay, I got 5. I picked 3. I don't know what you picked, but I'm picking my number. Okay, that's going to give me, let's see, 5, and then my number. Oh, I got it right! I'm so lucky! I picked the number 3. Did you pick the number 3? I don't know. Maybe you picked the number 2. Let's try 2. Let's see what happens. 2. Double my number. Add 3. Subtract my number. Subtract 1. So that's going to give. What? How did I pick 2? Did you pick 2? I chose 3 and I got it right. And then I chose 2 and I got it right. What's up with that? How are we both right? Did I do something wrong? It's kind of tricky, Mr. McCoy. Something fishy is going on here. Let's look at game number 3. Let's look at game number 3. Okay. You pick a number. I'm going to pick a number. Okay? I like picking the number 3. Okay, I'm going to double my number. Double my number. Subtract 3. Subtract my number. Add 4. 10. My number plus 2. My number plus 2 is 5. Ah! Bummer! I got it wrong. Okay. Did you pick the right number? I think I got it wrong. Okay, I'm going to pick 2. Let's see. 4 minus 3. Subtract my number. Add 4. That's going to be negative 5, 8. That's going to be 3. My number was 2 plus 2. Ah, doggone, I got it wrong again. All right, the gig is up. Okay, there's something fishy going on here because no matter what number you choose in this situation, you're always going to get it right. And no matter what you choose in this problem, you're always going to get it wrong. What's going on here, Mr. McCoy? Well, this is the point of today's lesson. Today's lesson, we are talking about there are some equations that don't just have one solution. And we alluded to this back in chapter 2. And so here's what we're going to do. Problem 3-80. Start by writing an equation that expresses the information in the game. This is from number 3. Okay, so you have a box for A and B in your notebook, okay, that we are going to start by writing that equation. So let's go ahead and go back. Double my number, add 3. Magic. I just had to pause the video and write this down to save us time. Now here's what we have. We have 2 equations. So here is rule number 3. Okay, this is guess my number. Double my number, add 3, subtract my number, subtract 1, and you will get my number plus 2. Let's go ahead and write that down in the left-hand column chart. And what we need to do is we need to go through our legal moves and we need to decide what's happening algebraically. That's the key here. What is happening algebraically? What's happening to the algebra? What's happening to the letters? Well, the first thing I see is a 0 pair. So let's do a 0 pair. 2x minus x is 1x. 3 take away 1 is 2 equals x plus 2. Okay? My next legal move is a balance. If I do a balance, I notice that I can take an x away from both sides. I notice I can take 2 away from both sides. That's going to give me 0 equals 0. Now, if you still had your chapter 2 notebook, and I think it's lesson 2.1.8, this is true or false. Is this a true or false statement? Does 0 equal 0? The answer is yes, true. What does this mean? This means that all solutions are numbers that make both sides equal. See, that's why in game number 3, it doesn't matter what you choose. Every number you choose is going to be a correct answer. The game was rigged. So let's look at number 4. Let's see what happens. Same thing. 0 pairs. The first thing you do, letter C, you need to write down the problem, write original, pause the video if you need to, and let's solve algebraically. 2x take away x, that's 1x. 4 take away 3, that's going to be 1, equals x plus 2. Okay, there's a 0 pair. My next legal move is going to be a balance. I'm going to take an x away from both sides. I'm going to take 1 away from both sides. That's a balance. And I'm going to be left with nothing equals 1. Really? 1 equals 0? 0 equals 1? That is not true. And see, what we're seeing algebraically is it doesn't matter what number you choose. You will always get an unbalanced problem. This is false. No solution. What we need to remind ourselves of today is a lesson from previous experiences, okay? Lesson 2.1.8, we learned that there are more than just one answer. X equals a number, right? Like we experienced in the first 2 games. Sometimes there are problems where everything is a correct solution. Sometimes there are problems where nothing is a solution, and we need to be prepared for that. So here are the expectations for today. In your notebook, you have 4 charts, okay? And you have 4 problems. I am expecting you to go through these 4 problems, and I want you to find the solution. X equals a number. If, however, you end up in a situation like this, then you need to write that it's true. 0 equals 0. That means all solutions work. Here, if you end up with a false solution, it might be 0 and 1, it might be 0 and 10. It's any unbalanced equation. You are left with a situation. If it is false, it means there are no solutions to the equation. So be prepared, A, B, C, D, to go ahead and solve this. If you need to pull up a mat and use mats, that's totally fine. But you need to continue to justify your work. Thanks for tuning in today to lesson 322, where we are practicing solving equations. How many solutions are there? And you can even check your work. Thanks for tuning in today. See you tomorrow.